Hey family, how y'all doing? Last video of the day. I was gonna do another one, but I'm just see that one. I gotta put more into it before I do it. But per usual, Black love, Black pride, and Black power. Cancel subscriptions to White Supremacy Weekly, and do me a favor, like, comment, share, and subscribe on all my videos. Check your egos at the play button, and remember to know yourself, to love your people. I think it's incredibly important right now that my people check their egos right now, check your sensitivity, and do me a favor, all my dark-skinned people out there, black men and women, and all my just full black men and women out there, no matter what shade of black you are, but you got 3 or 4 black grandparents, please do me a favor and think about you when I go through this video, okay? Because a lot of times when black people, especially black women, especially dark-skinned black women, speak out against or speak out on and about things like colorism and privilege and stuff, they normally get attacked, but the first line of defense is always other black people. A lot of times dark-skinned black people. Now mind you, these people jumping to attack their reflection for people who are not their reflection, the people you're defending do not do that for you. They do not do that for you. You do not see multiracial, interracial, biracial, and sometimes not all times, but light-skinned full black women caping for you like you do against your own for them. You don't see it. And half the time you're doing all this caping and they're out there enjoying their privilege unbothered. So please, before I get further into this video, black men and women, dark-skinned black women, please just think about you. It's okay to think about yourself and to make yourself a priority into your life. Oftentimes, dark-skinned black people are expected to put everybody else before them, whether it be white people, other minorities, interracial people, biracial people, lighter-skinned people. We are conditioned to think that everybody else has to come before ourselves, and that is just strictly false. That is not the reality of the situation, and you don't have to accept that as reality. So let's dive right on in. Colorism and privilege. People fail consistently to have a real, genuine, honest, productive dialogue and conversation about colorism and privilege in the black community. And what made me want to do this video in particular, and I will be getting more into colorism and whatnot in different aspects. It's a huge topic to tackle, so instead of doing one video that's 3 hours long, I'd rather go and attack different sections of it, you know, in 10-minute spurts and whatnot. So different sections of the topic will be covered in different videos. But one of the things that, that made me say, that I'm gonna do this video now is I'm so tired of hearing this ridiculous ass argument that when it comes to accepting multiracial, interracial, biracial people as black, first thing people say is, oh, well, they were hanging everybody. Oh, they're killing everybody. First off, out of all the black women murdered just in cases of police brutality alone, out of all the black women murdered these past, 2-3 summers, Corinne Gaines was the only light-skinned sister. At least that, that made mainstream or whatever. I'm sure there might be, more here and there and whatnot. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but let's just look at the ratio of dark-skinned, clearly African, undeniable black women being abused, being assaulted, being murdered, and all that other kind of stuff by society, period. And then let's just look at the ratio of, lighter-skinned black women alone. We're not even going to get into multiracial, interracial, biracial women. We're just going to talk about light-skinned women alone. It's a disproportionate rate. It is. Let's just go to regular society. I live in LA. I live in the LA area. I spend majority of my time in the LA area, even though I currently live in Ontario. I'm 22. I go out and I happen to be, having plugs and hookups or whatever. Otherwise, I would be in some serious doo doo. As a dark skinned natural black woman, they aren't letting my ass into shit looking like this. And this is gorgeous. This is fabulous, hunty. But if you're going to be a black woman out in LA, especially in the Hollywood area, the hills or, the nicer upper echelon parts and whatnot, if you're going to be in the more prestigious parts, the more famous parts of LA, and you're going to be a black woman, you got to at least be light skinned. At least. And if you're not light skinned, you got to be biracial, multiracial, interracial. But straight up black, that's not acceptable. You're not getting in, honey. They're gonna let all of your black friends come to a club, and you got your one white friend and your one Hispanic friend and your one biracial friend. They're gonna let those three in and leave your ass standing in line. And hopefully you have half decent enough friends to say, no, I'm gonna wait in line with you. But most of them don't. Let's be real. You gotta this happens all the time. Or, you out there with your girls and whatnot, and you're still in line, you're still waiting, and it's like everybody looking bad as fuck, melanin popping, cute, this and the third, some natural or some not or whatever. And you got a busted, bumbling group of, basic, non-black women walking by, the funny looking shape, weird, all kinds of stuff, and they just walks right in front of you. But, their privilege doesn't exist, and black women just imagine it. This idea that we're all the same is just like saying that you're colorblind. It's some bullshit. This idea that we all have the same struggle is like saying that you're colorblind. It's some bullshit. This tacky ass, sorry ass excuse of referring back to the Willie Lynch letters as if like you didn't have some personal responsibility and some part to play in the way things are, is some bullshit. It just is what it is, okay? When it comes to things like the murdering of African people, disproportionately, the majority of the people who are murdered, who are incarcerated, who are abused, who are attacked, are dark-skinned, undeniably, unquestionably full African people. Okay? Let's just be real about it. So please, we're not the same. When in the time where, and even to this day, multiracial people, biracial people, interracial people are out there passing their asses off. And what white people get mad when they find out that you weren't white. But how many, interracial, multiracial, biracial, how many of these people were able to pass their entire lives? And then occasionally one will get found out, there'll be an outrage, they might hang somebody. Are we going to pretend like the brown paper bag test didn't exist? When they came up with the brown paper bag test, there was no major movement or even no tiny movement of lighter skinned, full black women or multiracial, biracial, interracial women. There was no huge movement of them saying, we're going to boycott any establishment with the brown paper bag test. We're not going to work for anywhere that uses the brown paper bag test. If my dark-skinned sisters or if my black sisters can't work here in this position, I don't want to work in this. No, that should never happened. The petty bourgeoisie class that people like to pretend didn't exist and doesn't still exist, where I keep forgetting the name of that woman, but she played the love interest of the gorgeous chocolate brother on A Different World. We gonna pretend like there wasn't whole clubs of women that looked like her, claiming to be black, but was barely black, and they had this whole society, this upper class of privilege within the black community that they flexed on and got special benefits and privileges to be in white communities, which they flexed on. Are we gonna pretend like that stuff never happened, like that stuff's not real? Don't insult me by saying at the end of the day we're all the same, or they still call me nigga, da, 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 da. But they give you, they don't just call you nigga, and they don't do it off the bat. Let's be real. A lot of multiracial, interracial people, biracial people out there, and I spent a lot of time, years, in the state of Washington, okay? So I've heard everybody's stories. I've heard women complain because they're like a quarter black, and their full white sibling will say things like, "Oh, you're the whitest black person I know." Well, you very well may be, because don't expect me to look at you like we're the same. You got gray eyes and what, 2C 3A hair, like, and European features, like, fuck you, but you're, don't look over here, because I'm not no one can say that shit to me. It's just impossible for it to happen. We can't sit here and like, and how many, let's be real, my brothers, my sisters especially, let's be real, how many multiracial, biracial, or interracial people that we know love being black until it's time to be black? They love accepting their privilege. They love complaining. Like, when it comes to conversations on colorism, all they do, it's a general theme of consistency. All they do is, this is what their complaints as a general whole. Not everybody's, but majority of them in group settings, when they complain about colorism, this is their complaints. Dark-skinned girls didn't like me because I was pretty. They were jealous of my hair. They were jealous of my eyes. They didn't like me because I'm light-skinned. They didn't like me because boys like me. White people didn't accept me all the way, so I just identify as black because it's basically easier and more convenient for you. These are the general complaints that we hear biracial and multiracial and interracial women say in their discussions on colorism. And I'm sorry, I'm sure you got your own identity issues and whatnot. There's an internal struggle that I will never know, but I got my own problems. I'm a black woman in this world, and especially in America, okay? I am the most undesirable, most unprotected, most abused woman on the planet. Okay? That's the sub community that I belong to. So excuse me if your only complaints on life is that people weren't always happy about you and your privilege and your acceptance and you stealing their roles and positions and voices. I'm not here for it. I'm sorry, I'm not here for it. Bleaching cream is $1 billion industry. Dark-skinned black women walking around looking confused with dog hair on their head, and wishing that they had to look like you just so that they wouldn't get treated like shit or dogged or was deemed as worthy of love. Like, just even shit like that. We're not the same. I'm tired of hearing it. And stop insulting myself. Stop insulting my people, and stop insulting my ancestors with that boof-ass argument of, they call it, they still call me nigga at the end of the day, and, oh, they were lynching us too, because let's be real, it does not happen the exact same. There is a huge disproportionate rate at which full black, undeniable, and especially dark-skinned black people are incarcerated, are abused, and are murdered than there is biracial, multiracial, interracial. Especially since many of these communities over here have the ability to pass. Something that black people are not granted that ability. Full black people, even light-skinned full black people, are not easily able to pass. So if you are able to pass, that means that you're going to get privileges, this and the thirds and whatnot, and you don't really have to truly worry about being in danger until you are found out. If you are a passable European person, or a passable for European person, or passable for Hispanic, passable for Asian, you don't have to worry about shit I gotta worry about unless you announce, hey, I'm a quarter black, or hey, my mom's black, or hey, my dad's black, or hey, this and the third, Until you go around and announce that stuff or wearing it on your t-shirt, you are not going to have similar or even the same experiences as me as a full, undeniably African person. Stop it. Just stop it. And black people who are listening to this, you stop it for them. Because you're making them think that this stuff is okay, and you're the only people suffering from it. Dark-skinned African people and black people, or full black people, full African people, period, are the only people who suffer when we refuse to be real about colorism. And everybody else wants us to just shut up so that they can enjoy their privilege without having to feel any guilt. They don't want us to shut up because our struggle isn't real. They want us to shut up because they don't want to have to deal with the fact that they are actively being a part of the problem. Okay? I already have another video posted about how black people are different than biracial people or interracial people, etc. You know, so go watch that video if you want to hear more on that. But as far as just this concept that, you know, where we were, everything was just happening to us all the same, fuck out of here with that. That's some bullshit. It's not even realistic. It's dishonest, it's insulting, and it's disrespectful. So cut it. Okay? If we're ever going to, and this is to my light-skinned sisters who are full black, but know damn well you can pass a brown paper bag test, or know damn well that you get treated better or differently in society based off of you being lighter or your features not being as prominently Afrocoin. You know, let's just cut it. We are not going to be able to get anywhere. We're not going to be able to truly heal as an African people if we're going to deny the legitimacy and validity of the struggle of the most African looking, African being people. We're not going to be able to get anywhere if we keep pretending like we don't got problems. You know, that's just unrealistic. So do me a favor, check those egos, and for some of y'all, check your privilege. If you really say you really love and care about and are down for and are with black people for real, if this is the side you choose to pretend to be fully or whatever, then really be with the shit. Don't just be over here to enjoy your privilege. Be over here for real. You know, and the only way you can do that is by denying your privilege. And let's be real, majority of interracial, biracial, and mixed up people, they have no intention on denying their privilege. That's why they're over here, to reap the benefits of their privilege. And same with some of our lighter skinned sisters. You know, it's a little more comfortable being black when you look like you do. So you don't want to quite, you know, rock that boat at your own expense. You know, why even the playing field when things are good for me right now? Just think about it. Just think, you, and to my dark-skinned black people who are ready to jump down my throat and attack me because I said some very real and very honest things about the situation, think, are the people that you're caping for, would they deny that brown paper bag test? You know, can they pass? When you guys are out in public and something happens on some black stuff and, you know, people are getting disrespected and whatnot, do they say anything? Because I just got a phone call from a brother the other day who picked up a sister who was like a quarter black, but she was Hispanic. And this white woman started going off and calling everybody niggers, this and the third, talking to the brothers crazy and whatnot. And that woman was silent the whole time. She didn't feel like that woman was talking to her. And that woman wasn't even talking to her. But if that was me sitting in that room or another full, undeniably black woman and she started talking crazy, we would have known immediately that woman is talking to and about me. You know, and the response wouldn't be to tell the brother to calm down. The response would be to dig in that woman's ass or you know, to at least bare minimum verbally defend yourself. But a lot of times when stuff pops off and things get sensitive and racial slurs start being thrown, people start being talked to crazy, and things get intense, look real closely and see how many of your biracial or multiracial or interracial friends, see how many of them actually are active in your defense. With that being said, family, we're going to have to start being real sooner or later. We're going to have to start being 100 about it sooner or later. Ain't nothing going to change if we keep being colorblind and pretending everything's and we're all the same when we're not. Don't sit there. My brakes on my car are fine. My transmission's just shot, but my brakes and my transmission, you're treating like it's all the same, so you're just going to go and say, oh, your car's fine. Your brakes are good. But it's not. My transmission, the whole thing that makes the engine run, that's just not good. But you see, you know, every part of the car is the same, right? No, it's not. Fuck out of here. Stop it. Anyways, I know I went over on time, y'all. I'm really trying, but this is one of them things. It's one of them things. Anyways, per usual, black love, black pride, black power. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Check those egos before you hop in my comment section and shit. And also do me a favor and cancel the subscriptions to White Supremacy Weekly. And remember, you have to know yourself, to love your people. Love you, fam. Peace.